All right, welcome to episode 5. Okay, this is a thing. Episode 5 of Untitled Common Sense. My name is Derek. I'm your host in the bunker. My basement is the only place I can go. Got a newborn baby, and I get ranty sometimes because this administration, this world, really, honestly. Once we get past administration, I got a lot of ideas about things going on in the world, and I promise after these couple of videos, we'll talk about some lighter stuff because I feel like getting getting mauled. But yeah, episode 5. Thank you for joining me. Today's episode is about AI. Is it a good thing? I'm of the opinion no. I have my reasons why, but we'll kind of dissect it. I'll tell you my reasons as to why I think AI is it's not the jam. It's not the jam. So let's get right into it. I assume if you're watching this, you've seen, heard, of used AI. It's novel. It has its uses. You can ask it questions. They can make it so that it responds like you or anything else, and it can kind of give you an approximation of like another mind engaging with you, and it does some cool things. It's definitely, I won't say not without merit. But as of late, especially here, it is really worldwide. But here in America, the push for AI has been like crazy. Everything, if you listen to Elon Musk, everything is going to be AI. Trump was even going to fund that 500 billion AI push. AI this, AI that, AI this, and it makes me wonder like why. Now, okay, let's break it down. Why would AI be a benefit? And there are benefits. It can definitely fill the gaps in terms of the workforce. It can do a lot of jobs, unskilled, administrative, or clerical, or like those call center jobs. That's where it really has a lot of momentum behind it. You can talk to somebody who can get you the answers to some of your problems really easily, and that will necessitate less strain on these call centers where they have real people. You see it in those little chats, like if you're going for your insurance, and you're like, do you have a problem, would you like to speak to an AI doctor, and it gives you all that. So there's definitely, when you come in that point of view, it is a good intermediary before you go into the next level of service or help. Like before you see the doctor, maybe you answer a few questions and get some ideas. And even Google searches, it has the little AI thing, and it gives you a compilation of all the best answers. So it's definitely excellent shorthand in a lot of respects when you're searching for answers and you want assessments and questions. So I'll definitely give it that. It seems to be cheaper for business in the fact that you can get a lot more value with just this one thing. The case, it allows for better scalability. The better case for this, where you see that a lot, is especially in the arts. You got AI art. It takes years of investment to learn how to draw and to paint. And I know because I draw and paint, and I'm still not where I want to be, and I'm 42 years old. So I understand the amount of time and investment it takes to become an artist good enough at the professional level. And AI can give you a leg up. You put in your prompt, it can make something in whatever style you want. And that is very attractive, especially to smaller scale businesses, because you don't have to pay somebody to do, drawings. You don't have to pay for their redrawings or things like that. You're able to put in what you want, get what you want, tweak it, and it's a fraction of the cost. So I get it, especially for smaller businesses. It can really help bridge the gap to make you competitive in a world where you got all these bigger businesses that have much more resources and money and authority, and they can just, they have more to galvanize than you do. So I can definitely see it for that. It definitely will help in that regards. And then, kind of counter on the other side of that, it allows for a cheaper barrier to entry. Like with AI, you're able to kind of like get your feet in the game. Like I mentioned, art, marketing, video making. These are all even like stuff like if you have a website where you need to have some type of interaction with people, having a trained AI bot can do that for you to leave you to do all the other things you need to do. So it definitely allows you to get into the game and start swimming in those waters because you don't have to invest in the people, the time, the infrastructure. You just kind of set this up and let it happen. So there's definitely like it has a lot of benefits, not just for the bigger guys, because corporations then can just they can also benefit too. But I do find a lot of I find more the more justifiable cases for the little guy, in much the same way that having like an iPhone or things like that, the technology with the cameras have gotten better. You can film movies and stuff. It's like lessen the gap, and all the software where you can edit stuff is lessen the gap, so you can get professional quality stuff without investing in millions of dollars like you would in a movie. AI does the same thing for a lot of other industries. And so there definitely is something to be said that AI has a place in the world. I mean, it's a cool technology. But and I that's a capital all caps, but I think we have to really take a step back and ask ourselves that just because we can do AI, does that mean we should? I am seeing a lot of push from AI from all the quote unquote people in power. Of course, all the tech bros, they think it's the next thing since computer Jesus. Business people are like, AI is going to revolutionize this, this, and this, but I don't think it's going to be that great. And here's my reasoning why. For all the examples I listed earlier about how they benefit, they're also kind of a negative. Like if AI is going to be able to do all these different jobs, then you won't have people doing those jobs. And if you don't have people doing those jobs, it's going to be more people out of work. I got to turn that off. It's going to be more people out of work. Like, think of it this way. A lot of the jobs now that use AI are not necessarily skill. Like you're not going to a 4-year university and you're getting a degree to work at a call center or answer a question here. You'll have knowledge you need for the job, but anybody can learn that. But if you take that away, then that's a whole subset of people who may not have the ability to go to college or know what they want to do in college. And then you can make the case that like the way we're approaching education in America is going to make it more likely that people are not going to go to college. So when you take jobs like this, because AI can handle it, that's just more people who are out of work. Like I remember reading about how the shipping container workers who work at the docks were upset because they're automatizing their job of like dock workers' jobs are being automated. And it's like, well, if you take that away from dock workers, what are they going to do? These are people who invested time. That was an industry, a actual employment path that people could take, and now you're not having that. Just the other day, Elon Musk was talking about how teachers, you're going to have AI bots to help teachers. So in a classroom of 25 to 30 kids, because you can't get the individual help you need, let's just get more AI bots to fill in the gaps. And while there is some merit to that, having an AI assistant, it kind of goes smack in the face of what we're talking about. Like, think about this. They want more AI, but they also want you to come into the office. If you have AI, you don't need to be in the office. It can just chat with you. So why are we promoting these things that say we want you in person, we want you there, but we're investing in an industry that's saying we don't need you anymore because we have this and you don't need to be there? It's kind of counterintuitive. I just think AI is just going to cause a lot more people to be disenfranchised than it will help. And keep in mind, as I said before, it does help with businesses and scalability, but like the people who really want it already have giant corporations making billions of dollars, and they want it so they can get rid of another part of the workforce. Because think about it, no corporation is ever really looking out for the people who work for them. They're always looking for ways to cut costs. And the ways that they most effectively cut costs is the people, because you don't have to pay them and you don't have to pay for their insurance. Just get rid of them. And then there, of course, there's human error. So let's just use this. They're already using it for insurance to dismiss claims. And so why do you think that adding it into other industries is not going to be more of the same? It's just going to be a very heartless, soulless, script like program that's just gonna, and none of the nuance that you have with people. And I think honestly, people are screaming for other people. Like, people want there to be other people. People feel bad when they have to talk to a voice operated machine that's like, press one if you want to do this. Nobody likes that. Okay, nobody likes feeling like, oh, my needs are so inconsequential to this corporation that they can't even put somebody to talk to me. And it's like, AI is just going to be more of the same. It's just going to be another barrier between us and another human. More and more are these experiences becoming impersonal. And that, I think, is one of the biggest things affecting our country, is this impersonality, this lack of connection. You got people in Washington who can't connect with their constituents because they don't live their lives. They live in posh quarters. The government foots all their bills. They get driven everywhere. They're making tons of money on, stocks. Their life is not like anything like their constituents. And so when they come up for these votes, they're just like, oh yeah, I'm just going to vote for this because this is great for me, but I don't know about those other people. And there's just going to be another barrier. Who's to say that they're not going to use AI when you want to contact your senator? And you make an email and then you get this bullshit AI response talking about, oh, we value blah, 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 and this and that. That's exactly what they're going to do. They're just going to put another barrier in front of you. So I think it besides just taking away jobs that people can do, and people who can do it well. I know, it's kind of hard to be in the service industry because people are dicks and nobody likes dealing with like upset and frustrated people. But you're going to have a lot more when those people, A, don't have jobs, and then B, have to talk to these computers to get their needs met, and then C, their needs aren't met because these computers just zero empathy, zero everything. And then on top of that, AI lacks authenticity. I know we call it AI, but it's not. It's artificial intelligence. True AI would be like you're talking to another person. True AI would be you're talking to a machine that has the ability to generate ideas, is able to think in such a way that it mirrors us, that it's able to make leaps of logic or have intuition or come to conclusions based off of not just logical information, but, intuition and feeling and things like that. AI now is nothing but the next stage in a Google search. All it does is compile all the information it has, and then it spits it out at you in a palatable way. Now, I'll give you this. Some of the AI that it uses to mimic how you may speak and to talk as a certain type of character is interesting. But again, you have to program that in. It's not being itself, not in the way that we are. Like, our personalities are shaped by us interacting with the world and us learning, and it happens in an organic way. This is just people feeding code, lines and lines of code, and saying you're 25% this, you're 25% that, you're 50% ornery, you're 72%, blah blah blah. It's just numbers being tweaked to affect, the illusion that it is this. But make no mistake, it's not true AI. It's not AI in the way where, if you were to talk to it like a child over time, it would, be its own thing. It's just data sets put into a computer that help it, and then it compiles it, and then, it spits it out in a certain way based off those data sets. It doesn't even generate it on its own or come to the conclusion or looks at something and be like, yeah, I could tweak it. It only tweaks it if you ask it to. It doesn't say like, here's first thing off the top of my head, but thinking about it further, let me do this, let me do that, let me do it. it only does as much as it is capable of doing. It'll only be as good as the data that we feed it. And so in that case, it'll always be inauthentic. It'll never really give us what we want. It'll feel like we're talking to a person, but just like in the same way you can tell AI art because it has that glossy just fakeness to it, or it can't get hands right, like hands. I know they're complex, but like if you can contour and shade and get the highlights of a human face, why is this tripping you up? You can put them in dynamic poses, give me perspective, give me, the interaction with color and light, but hands, you get all these goofy hands and stuff. It's just not right. And again, it's perpetuating this growing undercurrent of artificiality that's injected in this world that I think everybody's feeling. Everything about our world is fake. It's so fake. Social media makes you believe that everybody feels the same way you do, or it tells you everybody thinks the way this should be. It shows people pretending to be rich when they're clearly not. It's this illusion that everything is okay, and it's not true. You get that, like all of marketing, illusion. This is the best product. 9 out of 10 doctors agree. Fat free. All of it's lies. It's just double speak just to cloud the realities of stuff. And AI is more of that. It's the illusion of people talking to people. It's the illusion of connection. It's the illusion of communication. It's just all unfeeling, unpersonal. And it's like, it's furthering the sickness that's in this country. Because this country is really struggling to be authentic and to be truthful. And we're just adding one more layer of just artificiality, superficiality. Like you're saying, if you have AI, I'm not willing to invest in what is necessary to my consumers. And granted, like I said, with smaller businesses, it's hard to invest in that. But that's also part of the thing. You gotta crawl before you walk. And like, it just seems to me it smacks of a larger issue that we have here, where it seems to me we just don't want people across the board. AI is really saying we don't like people. We don't want to deal with people. We don't want to have to interact with people. We just rather deal with a computer. We're moving away from each other and more into look at it. We're all on our devices. We're all listening to other people, not our friends. We don't talk to nobody. We just get opinions from others. And this is just more of that. And if computers can do everything, then you got to ask yourself, if computers can do everything, then why do the powers that be need you? This is effectively replacement, because the only thing that keeps them some way halfway thinking about your condition and what you have access to is they need you for labor. If the powers that be didn't need us for labor and to make things and to continue keeping this society going, they'd get rid of us in a heartbeat. It's just not worth it. Why have the rabble when we can just get rid of them, put them somewhere, and we can have this all for ourselves? Because that's what they're thinking. That's the mentality. It's just like, why? Let's cut out the middleman. Let's get rid of the people. And now we got AI that's handling all our jobs. I don't need to pay for salary. I don't need to pay for, insurance. No need for sick days. Computers can't get sick. We just update that shit. More profits for me. What's there not to love? And you can say to yourself, oh, that'll never happen, but it is happening. Look at how many industries are just not industries anymore because they can get other people to do it. I mean, biggest one that came was Hollywood. There was a reason why writers were striking. There's a reason why voice actors are striking. And there's a reason why actors are striking. Because if they can get a computer to approximate your likeness and your voice, well, why the fuck do we need to pay you? And you can make the case they are egregiously paid, but that's the system we set up. But now they're just like, hey, we can save even more money. get rid of them and just use a computer to do their likeness. So if Hollywood is willing to do that, if they're willing to say, hey, let's just get AI to write our scripts and AI to voice act our characters. And that's Hollywood. These are people who, at the very least, have been vetted as contributing creatively to some of our most beloved properties. If they're willing to do that with the people who bring it to life, then what do you think they're willing to do for the office worker or the dock worker or, hell, the teacher? Well, why pay them? We don't care about teachers anyway in this country. Let's get rid of the middleman. And we can make sure that AI says exactly what we want. We don't have to worry about these rogue teachers inspiring our children with all this radical leftist rhetoric. We can just tell them the simple, the true facts as we see them. Cut out the middleman. So I'm not in favor of AI, especially not in the way that they're doing it. And I believe it is all a con. I think it's all a con, just like in the same way as crypto. I think both these two industries have the potential to be something pretty awesome, but grifters and snakes and snake oil salesmen, they've taken it over, and it is now it's just kind of foul. They're just looking for new ways to just get rid of us. That's what they want. And when you think about this, if they're willing to get rid of you, but then tell to your face this is all for your benefit, what? You can't trust them. You can't trust these people to do what's right. This is the reason why we have government. Government works for the people, and government is there to put in place securities to prevent corporations and people of influence from getting over on us. Because they will do that. They will exploit us. They will take us for all we're worth, and they will throw us to the side. And it's happened time and time again. Every revolution started because of some type of mistreatment. It's just reality. So you may not like what I'm saying to you, but it's true. AI is coming for your job. If they can find a way to take your job and replace it with AI for much cheaper, they will do it. It's just the truth. So, but that concludes today's episode. Hope you enjoy it. Like I said, once again, this is, besides me being able to speak about this and feel like I can, reach people out there, I want this to be a jumping off point to gather like-minded people so we can come together and really start affecting change. I truly believe that the power is in the people, and I think we, the people, are a lot more stronger than we give ourselves credit for. I think we have a bigger voice and a bigger impact than what, people in the media and the powers that be say we do. We clearly do, because they're doing so much to get rid of us. We obviously have that power. They know it. That's why they got to keep lying to us, to keep us down, because they know that we are the true strength. No country that's worth its salt does so without the people. And if we don't like what's going on with our country, then it's up to us to stop it. So, hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you soon.